following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
How's everybody doing on this beautiful Thursday? It is actually afternoon right now at 12:01. I know it's kind of pouring down outside. That's why I haven't left my house. We've got the old wood panel walls behind me. I didn't want the rain to mess up my hair, so I figured I'd just stay in the house today. So, welcome to Casey's Take. We're going to talk Hendon Hooker and the Heisman first of all, because there's a lot that I need to get off my chest. The second thing we're going to talk about, and I just sent this entire email to Justin. I forgot what it's going to be. But I think we're going to talk some more football. And then third take is going to be some Titans. And fourth take is going to be high school sports. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. First take, like I said, Hendon Hooker and the Heisman. I'm just going to go ahead and set the premise for this. I understand that Hendon Hooker was probably not going to win the Heisman. If you look at his stats next to Caleb Williams and CJ Stroud, he doesn't have as many yards and as many touchdowns. I know he missed a few games, but it's not his fault. I understand it's an injury, but all of that still comes into play. Williams and Stroud had better numbers. I kind of assumed that Williams was going to win it. The one thing I will say, which is great, and I've seen this this photo that's kind of been circulating around on Twitter and Facebook. And it says that the Heisman is supposed to display character and integrity or something along the lines of that. You know, the NCAA, they put they put a bunch of really nice words over what something really means, but they don't really care, because the guy that had bad words written on his fingernails is going to win the thing. So, and again, I think Caleb Williams probably is the Heisman this year. If you watched him play in that game against Utah last week, he's nuts. He's really fun to watch. You don't have to like him. I don't like him. I didn't like Barry Bonds. He was the greatest baseball player I ever watched. Nobody likes Michael Jordan, but we all love watching him play basketball. People might like Michael Jordan, but he was not a nice person. I almost said a bad word after watching my mouth on the show. But just because people are bad people or annoying people doesn't mean they can't be great at a sport. And Caleb Williams probably is the Heisman. Here's my issue. Hendon Hooker 100% definitely deserved to be in New York for the ceremony. Now, even if you don't agree with that, and that's fine, there is no way on God's green earth that the SEC Offensive Player of the Year does not deserve to go to New York over Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett doesn't have, against the similar opponents, he doesn't have as good of numbers as Hendon Hooker. I get the fact that Hendon Hooker was not going to win. I think Hendon Hooker should have been able to go, but even if you don't agree with that, that's fine too. But Stetson Bennett getting to go over Hendon Hooker just feels like an intentional slap in the face, because I'm pretty sure that the Heisman voters, the national media, everybody hates Tennessee, and I'm pretty sure they know that we know that they hate us, and that's fine. I guess we just got to deal with it. Again, I've said this before. Hendon Hooker, he's got a book out for athletes with scripture, and he's written children's book with scriptures, and God is a very important part of his life, and I think that's a good thing. Whether or not you believe in God doesn't really matter. Having a God to believe in is very good, because usually it gives some people a morality or a high ground that they can strive for. That let's not get into that. We could have a 3-hour show about me talking about religion. We're not going to do that. But Hendon Hooker definitely deserved so much more credit and recognition than he is going to receive. And Stetson Bennett getting to go, like I said, is just it's actually disrespectful. And don't tell me he's a winner. I get that he's a winner. Everybody on that roster is a winner. They've won every game for the past 24 months now. So yeah. Oh, except for Alabama in the SEC championship. They finally got their SEC championship. Good for them. Way to go. Man, I guess. Oh yeah, Brent Johnson. I hope you're watching, by the way, Brent, because this is live. Brent Johnson come up to me during league last night. We're bowling league, and he comes up to me and he says, "Are my Georgia Bulldogs going to get a shout out on your show?" I said, "No, they're not." And I told him I was going to think about it until he brought it up. When he brought it up, I decided, no, I'm not going to talk about it. But here you go, Brent. Here's your shout out. Georgia Bulldogs are the Southeastern Conference football champions. I don't want to say that anymore, and y'all want to hear it, but here we are. Congratulations, Brent. For real. Some of you Georgia guys, I do know some Georgia fans. They're good people. I know some people that are Georgia fans that are not good people, but that's beside the point. Neither here nor there. But congratulations to you guys. You deserved it. You're the best team in the country, best team in this conference by pretty good margin. So, man, I could talk a little bit longer on how Hendon Hooker is just going to get disrespected and stuff, but I think we all kind of know where I'm at on that. So we're going to, let's see. I'm going to do a little DMA read. Y'all get to watch the Michael Bay commercials and then come back. Okay, so Casey's Take brought to you by DMA Orthopedics and Dr. Anthony Tropiano. Dr. Anthony Tropiano provides patients with prompt, effective treatment using the best technology available and in a manner that is compassionate and understanding of their needs. Dr. Tropiano is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon. Call 615-441-4522 today. That's 615-441-4522. Come on.
At Dixon Medical Associates, your health is our number one priority. With over 40 providers, our goal is to bring excellent, convenient, and comprehensive medical care to our community. Dixon Medical Associates, a destination for care.
Sorry about that. Now, the second take, which I had actually forgotten a second ago, even though I sent it all to Justin like 5 minutes ago. The second take is Transfer Portal Madness. Transfer Portal Madness. I almost messed it up. I might have messed it up. Now, we're not going to sit here and go over who all's leaving and where they're going. That's just quite frankly too much information. I'm not going to keep up with it. But I think we all do know there is a little bit of madness going on. Over 1,000 athletes were in the transfer portal Sunday night. And here's the thing. I understand that Tom Izzo had a great quote. I love what he said. He said he's afraid that kids are not going to learn how to fail. And there are a lot of kids that are going to make a bad decision. They're going to leave a good situation to go to a bad one, thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. And we all know that that's rarely the case. But I want to come to you today to play the devil's advocate. It is madness. Like I said, 1,000 athletes as of Sunday night, up and out in the portal. And I get it. It's crazy. But man, I don't know if it's not. I think it's the right thing to do to have the transfer portal. I really do. At least the one-time transfer rule. Because if you've got a coach, a 45-year-old man that is looking 16, 17-year-old athletes right in the face and their families and saying, hey, I want you to come play football for me. And these young men are investing their college career in this man and this program and what he's trying to sell them. And then let's say this coach is a coach at, I don't know, Iowa State. Iowa State's a pretty darn good program. They've knocked off some top tier teams, Division I, Power 5 school. But if you're at Iowa State and a team like, or a program like USC or Texas or Alabama, any of these, really big programs, they come calling, you're gone. As a coach, you're leaving. You're going to go to the bigger program, or you're going to go to the school that you went to, or whatever may happen. Coaches are just up and out and changing all the time. They're different every day. They're moving here, moving there, whether they get fired or they take a new job or whatever happens. All of that happens without any consequence whatsoever, other than people throwing money around. And these are already insanely rich programs and rich schools that are throwing pocket change to go get whatever coach they think they need. These coaches can just up and go and do whatever they want. If they can do that, why is it fair to make the players stay stuck in one place? Plus, I mean, I understand that most kids are going to make a bad decision, and the transfer portal may not help everybody, but then you do have athletes like Joe Burrow. You have athletes like Justin Fields, Baker Mayfield, people who bounce, go somewhere else, make an immediate impact and a big impact. And again, I think we don't live in utopia, folks. There's just, if I could sit here and tell you what I think a perfect world would look like, I mean, I'd get halfway through it and realize that something might be wrong, because my idea of utopia is different than anybody else's. But nothing's ever going to be perfect. And the simple fact that we still want to try and hold down the kids. People want to throw a fit about the transfer portal and blame the kids and all this other nonsense. That's crazy to me. Give the kids the same opportunity that the grown adults have. That they ought to be able to make money just like they are. They ought to be able to get up and leave just like they are. You may not like it, but it's right. It's right, because the coaches can. The coaches can just up and leave. ADs up and leave. Assistant coaches up and leave. Gone. Nobody bats an eye. Sorry, excuse me. So, the idea that we're going to, again, kids are going to make a mistake. They're going to make a bad decision every once in a while. They're going to leave places they probably don't need to leave. They think they're going to go somewhere else and get more playing time because they didn't get any here because coach didn't like them or whatever it may be, when in all actuality, they're just not good or they don't work hard enough. And that's called survival of the fittest. I mean, everything's going to come out the way it was supposed to in the end, I think. But for the most part, every one of these young people in any sport deserve the opportunity for the one-time transfer. Again, coaches can just up and leave. Nobody says anything. They're just like, whatever. So I guess my issue is the fact that other people take such an issue with the transfer portal. I get it. This whole idea about kids and we're not teaching them how to fail, and old people have been absolutely crapping on younger generations since the beginning of time. Older generations will always think the younger generation is weaker for whatever reason. And that may be true, but as long as you're willing to agree that I'm weaker and smarter, then that's fine. Old folks can say whatever you want. But that's going to be it. We're going to go to no, we just did a commercial. We're going to do the third take. We're going to do the third take, and then we're going to go to another commercial. Third take is going to be J-Rob. John Robinson. This is fun. This is great. I had actually, I written an entire, Lord of mercy. You can tell it's early for me anyway. I'm a night owl. I wrote an article that was in our paper last week about the Titans were the best. The Titans are the worst, good football team in the NFL. And I stand by that statement. I think anybody that is a Tennessee fan, Titans fan, an NFL fan with any type of cognitive function whatsoever can tell you that the Titans are a decent team. If you're not a great team and you show up and don't play well, you're going to lose to the Titans because they've got a great coach. They play hard. Usually don't make a lot of real serious like mental mistakes. Physically, you might just be better than them, but man, I know that a lot of people. I get the AJ Brown trade got him fired. I get that, and I know that I'm in the minority when I say this, but I don't think any of you. I don't think any of you have explored the possibility that whoever the Titans hire to be the next general manager is infinitely worse. I get that Farley. I get that Farley didn't hit. I get that pick didn't hit. I get that the Wilson pick didn't hit. Raditz has been crap. And I understand that some of this has just not worked out. But the Titans are in a much better situation now than they were 7 or 8 years ago, and that's mainly due to because of him and Coach Vrabel. And I don't think people are giving him enough credit for the roster that we do currently have and the players that are on it that are good. The offensive line had its struggles, and it's the worst offensive line in all of football, maybe the worst offensive line in 3 or 4 years. But Robinson did a lot of great things. And now he's gone. And like I say, I'm a Titans and a Vols fan. I'm used to whoever gets hired screws stuff up. I mean, really, I don't have a lot of faith in anybody to make a good decision. If they hired me tomorrow, okay. Other than that, I don't know who you bring in that you know is going to be better. Oh, sorry, I got yeah, just slap my microphone. I got crap on my shirt. I wore this shirt yesterday to bowling practice, and one of the kids threw a rosin bag at me. They think it's funny. I'm not laughing, but I just now noticed it's all over my shirt. But John Robinson's gone, and as happy as some of you are, I'm going to remember this. I'm going to keep some receipts because when whoever goes out and hires the next Beavis or Butthead to be the general manager of the Tennessee Titans, and they go back to having seasons like 3 and 14, yep, I'm going to blame all of you idiots that wanted John Robinson gone and are happy that he's gone. I don't understand how Todd Downing doesn't get fired. I mean, okay, so first of all, if we're just going off performance alone, right, Downing has been much worse than basically any other human being in the Titans organization, right? Okay, so even if we're not going off of performance, let's just go off of off-field incidents. Downing has a DUI. Does John Robinson have a DUI? Is that why he got fired? I guess somebody needs to go find Todd Downing cooking meth in his bathroom. Get him fired. It's crazy. I mean, how does Downing not get fired? A DUI, terrible on-field performance. Nobody has the balls, including Vrabel. Nobody has the balls to stand up and say anything about it other than Vrabel going, oh, well, we're not going to look at that. We're not going to. That's nuts to me. It's cowardly and it's crap. Downing's got blackmail on somebody or something. There's nothing else that makes any sense because, again, Robinson, who I feel like, yes, has made some mistakes, but his overall track record indicates that possibly he should not have been fired. Possibly, just possibly, and he's canned as soon as Amy Adams Strunk watches AJ Brown run up and down the field 12 times, and I get that. That's exactly why he got fired. AJ Brown took our guys to the woodshed. Shane Bowen didn't help out anybody. They played man coverage all day on the backside. I understand the Eagles have a great run game, and you really got to watch out for the running game. But if AJ Brown has 8 catches for 140 yards and a touchdown, maybe try to keep him from getting to 170 and and another touchdown. Nobody tried to help. Christian Fulton fell over. He got hurt, fell over, and AJ Brown scored a touchdown that was the most wide open touchdown in 4 years. Of course, Fulton got hurt, fell over. But why doesn't Fulton have help over the top? Fulton's supposed to be great. I get that. He's not AJ Brown good. Okay, so why did I? None of this makes any sense. It feels like the Titans just kind of went into the game And maybe somebody told Mike Vrabel and said, hey, if A.J. Brown goes crazy on us, we're firing John Robinson. And Vrabel's tired of Robinson anyway, so he's like, screw it. We're just going to leave everybody out there one-on-one with A.J. Brown and watch him go nuts. Just go ahead and give him a highlight tape against his former team, which is exactly what he wants. Go ahead and give him that, and then we'll get everybody fired because of it. That's the only thing that makes sense to me because nobody tried to play defense against him. I don't know if they could, but I get why Robinson got fired. I understand that you could fire people for that. I'm not saying that he should not have gotten fired. What I do want to say, though, is I don't know if he should have gotten fired. And I know for a fact I'm scared to death that the next person comes in is going to completely suck at this job. So that's a real possibility that all of you have to think about. This idea, you see what I'm going through right now? Like, it's hard for me to put a lot of words together, and I'm worried about the future. And I'll tell you why. I was 15 years old when the Tennessee Volunteers fired Philip Fulmer, and everything went south from there. Did Fulmer need to be fired? Possibly. That's a different discussion for a different day. It's not really the same kind of thing, but I want you to understand that after watching that happen, and then seeing what happened the next, what are we at, 15, 16 years now? Seeing what happened afterwards and seeing how bad everything got, I don't understand how a lot of people could be as confident as they are when going out and getting a new person, hiring somebody for anything, whether it's an offensive assistant or general manager, anybody. I just don't have a lot of faith. Sorry. Not in hires. If I was making the hire or the one being hired, I'd be okay, but that's not going to happen. I'm going to put my hat in. Miss Adams, if you're watching, I would like to be the general manager of the Tennessee Titans. Do I think we would win? Absolutely. Do I have any evidence to support that? Not whatsoever. But I'd love to be the general manager of the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to go ahead and do we'll go to commercial first. We'll go to commercial, come back. We're going to do one more DMA read, and then sorry, I just got a funny little message. I'm going to do my DMA read. We're going to finish it off with high school sports. So let's go ahead and hit a commercial real quick.
Here at Dixon Medical Associates, we've got you covered from neck to toe. Our orthopedics team offers services in sports medicine, foot and ankle reconstruction, spinal surgery, and more. We also have in-house imaging and physical therapy. Dixon Medical Associates. We specialize in what moves you.
Thanks for visiting Casey's Take, which is brought to you by DMA Orthopedics and Dr. Anthony Tropiano. Dr. Anthony Tropiano provides patients with prompt, effective treatment using the best technology available and in a manner that is compassionate and understanding of their needs. Dr. Tropiano is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon. Call 615-441-4522 today. That's 615-441-4522. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the last take of the day. For you wrestling fans, we will have some Creekwood and Dixon wrestling in the Dixon Post this upcoming week, next Tuesday night, Wednesday, whenever usually people get to the paper. It'll be in the photo. It'll be in the paper. We got wrestling for both high schools. Let's see. Dixon is, basketball is almost. It's almost in full swing. They are playing. They're going. But I still think some of the teams are maybe just a hair. I don't know if the word rusty is right. But some teams are still trying to find their footing. And I believe they will. Got a lot of talent in the Dixon and Cheatham area for basketball, especially girls basketball. Last night I went to Sycamore. No. 2 nights ago. I'm sorry. Tuesday night, of course, Creekwood, we had a bowling match. We went to Portland, finished off our season undefeated. I'll finish with that in just a second. And then I drove down the road to Pleasant View, and Sycamore was hosting Community from Unionville. And the Lady War Eagles playing a very good Community team. That was really close. And then the fourth quarter, I think Community was able to run away with a little bit, build about a 10-point lead. They won 38-49 or 49-38 or something like that. And then the boys, Sycamore. Hey, Coach Bailey. I like going out there and talking to Coach Fisher Bailey, and I like Cody King too. It's cool to go out there and talk to those coaches. They're cool dudes, and but the boys played really good Tuesday. Now, here's the thing: if you go look at Max Preps, and that's the only thing you look at, you're going to see that Community was 0-7 coming into that game. I don't mean nothing. Community's got a lot of talent. That's a big basketball school. They love their basketball, and they're pretty good, but they play against really good teams. So Sycamore being able to get a win against them, huge for the War Eagles, especially a really young team. And Coach Bailey, he likes his team, but he knows they're young. So those youngins, they get a little bit of a confidence boost, like a win over Community, something like that. Maybe they can build on that. So Creekwood and Harpeth play Friday, tomorrow. That's where I'll be. Can't wait to run into some of y'all there. That'll be a fun game. That'll be a fun game because the two schools are like 5 minutes from each other. All these kids know each other. Kingston Springs and Charlotte are like a golf course away from each other. Basically, Peakram is the only thing that's separating the two. So, a lot of people that know each other get to see each other during those games, and that'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch. And I haven't seen Creekwood play basketball in a week or two, so it'll be fun. I haven't been to a Harpeth game yet, so it'll be fun to see Harpeth the first time this year. Dixon beat Rossview the other day. That was pretty good for them. The girls beat Northeast really good, but Northeast, I think it was Northeast. They're not very strong. But going to be fun to see if the Lady Cougars can. They got some young kids that Coach's daughter Keely Webb played really good in the season opener. Carly Stevenson scored 19 points in the game-winning bucket against Rossview, I think, last week or something. They got some kids. They can really play. The boys team, they're fast. They're young. They're fun to watch. But that's a little bit of basketball, some wrestling for you. But real quick, I got to talk to you about bowling. Our Creekwood bowling team, we finished undefeated, both boys and girls. I'm very proud of these young athletes. They've worked really hard, and they're really good. That's all I ever tell them. I say, hey, look, you guys know you're good. You know you've worked hard. You go out here and you do what I ask of you. You're going to strike a bunch. Concentrate on picking up your spares. We're going to win, and that's what we've done. So good job to my boys and girls on the team. I'm proud of you guys. And district starts next week. Real quick before I go, here's the only bad thing. I got jury duty. I got to figure out next week what I'm supposed to do. I got jury duty. I got to call Pam Lewis and just tell her, hey, let me push this thing back a week. I don't care what kind of trial we got going on. Just hold it till next week. Let me get through district bowling. But y'all, thanks for hanging out with me. I know it's rainy and nasty outside, so it was fun for y'all to come in and hang out and watch this at least for a minute. So I'll be back next week. Y'all make sure you come back and check out the show as well. I still haven't got my little cord yet to run my phone for better video, but I'll get there, I promise. So, like I said, y'all, thanks for hanging out with me. Hit me up on Twitter at CVP51. Let me know if I'm right. Let me know if I'm wrong. Come argue with me. So we'll see y'all next week.